Aim and objectives are the important key for the start of the study and in what direction to proceed. The essence of the research question will be the aim of the study. What to find from the research study will break up into objectives with a maximum of 2 to 3. The objectives framed should be SMART. S for specific, the objectives should be well defined and clear. M for measurable, the objectives to be framed such as it measures the outcome. A for achievable, the objectives stated should be attainable within the available resources. R for relevant, the objectives must be realistic and relevant towards the goal. T for time bound, the objectives must have clearly defined timeline for the research. How to frame the objectives from the research question? First, write the objectives in scientific and clinical terms. Second, consider one objective as the primary objective and other objectives as secondary objectives. Third, use action verbs according to the type of study. For measuring a quantity, for example, prevalence or incidence of a disease, use to estimate or to evaluate. For testing a hypothesis or association, use to determine. Consider the following example for framing the objectives from a research topic. The topic is metabolic syndrome as a risk factor for maturity-onset diabetes among young adults in Texas, USA, a case-control study. Here the outcome is maturity-onset diabetes and hence its prevalence is to be estimated. So that will be the first objective. To estimate the prevalence of maturity-onset diabetes among young adults with metabolic syndrome. Next, the association between metabolic syndrome and maturity-onset diabetes has to be determined, which will be the second objective. To determine the association between metabolic syndrome and maturity-onset diabetes among young adults. Find a good research topic and frame the objectives better. Thank you.